Welcome to the Mindset Mile podcast, the show that'll leave you empowered to take action towards becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self. I'm your host, Aisha Zaza, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the Mindset Mile podcast. This episode is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Upswing Fitness, a fitness app that gives you access to hundreds of workouts and fitness trainers, including yours truly. I was texting with one of my mom friends the other week, and she was saying how she's taking a little break from Instagram because she felt like she was in a place where it was hurting her mental health and distracting her like crazy. I think that's so relatable, right? After a couple weeks of removing the app from her phone, she said she realized how much she was subconsciously telling herself that she wasn't doing enough or wasn't happy enough, and that she was following all of these positive accounts and how-to type accounts, but wasn't able to do any of it. Like she felt paralyzed. And I could totally relate to that. And I feel like this is the case for so many people. And this isn't a social media specific thing, although I do feel like it can be exasperated when we see highlights of real people online, and especially those whose job it is to make content and make it look pretty. But this can be true for the person who reads self-help after self-help book, or attends seminars and conferences about how to level up in their business or become the best version of themselves. I personally felt like I was in this place a few years ago in my own health and wellness business. It felt like I was going through the motions of personal development by reading book after book and plugging into trainings that were supposed to be motivating and inspiring. And it eventually felt like the words were falling on deaf ears. And I almost felt resentful of what was supposed to be positive information that was supposed to inspire me and encourage me, and all of the information that I was consuming, because of how little I felt like I was actually applying the information. When we consume too much, even if it's the best or most positive type of information for us, if you don't actually apply it, what ends up happening is that you just become constantly reminded of the lack in your life. Whether that's lack of confidence, lack of communication skills, lack of motivation, lack of effort, perceived lack of beauty, lack of money, lack of happiness, your inner dialogue will respond by telling yourself negative things about yourself. Beware of the should talk. You know, that voice in your head that says you should be doing this or should be doing that or should be more disciplined, should be more self-conscious about this or that. Shoulding all over yourself is a form of shame that will get you nowhere fast. If you feel like you can relate to this or you're in a place of shoulding all the time, then I want you to do two things. First, mute or unfollow most or all of those meme and advice accounts that you follow on social media. I know you may think that you're going to miss out on all kinds of good information, but I promise you, you need a break from being bombarded with bite-sized therapy. Until you start applying any of what you're reading, hearing, or seeing, all of it will only remain a good idea. Pick one thing that you've saved or that you've wanted to do for some time now and actually start doing it. I don't care what it is. It can be anything, whether that's a new meal prep routine you saw, or a course you've wanted to sign up for, or a boundary you've needed to set, or communication skills you needed to start practicing. I want you to do that. Stop thinking about all of the reasons why you haven't done it by now, or all the ways that feel scary to do something new, and just do it. What do you have to lose? And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. A couple years ago, I was in a really dark place. The world around us was changing as we knew it. My husband's job had been turned upside down and became very stressful, and I was pregnant for the first time, where I was thrown the biggest mental and emotional curveball of my life. I could barely cope with how I felt, and therapy was the only way I got through it. I feel like it was so helpful to understand why certain things were triggering me to feel anxious and depressed, and I was given insight and tools that helped me navigate one of the hardest years of my life. BetterHelp Online Therapy will assess your needs and can match you with your own licensed professional therapist in less than 48 hours. They offer professional therapy done securely online, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. It's more affordable than traditional therapy, and financial aid is also available. And they have a special offer for my listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/mindsetmile. That's 10% off your first month of online therapy at BetterHelp, HELP.com/mindsetmile. This episode is sponsored by Get the Tea, and I have to tell you about an amazing new product they have called Life Change Tea. Why is it life-changing, you may ask? It's because they have formulated a tea containing 12 herbs that combined are so effective for cleaning out your gut. I drink it every day and it helps keep me feeling good. It has been around for over 14 years and has helped change thousands of lives. Plus, I love that it's made right here in the US. It's organic and non-GMO. It works as a daily gentle cleanse for your body. You just brew, steep, refrigerate, and drink. And who doesn't love a nice tall glass of iced tea during the summer? It's so refreshing, and it's an effective way to gently cleanse your digestive system. Go to getthetea.com/Zaza, that's ZAZA, and save $8 off your first month of tea. That's getthetea.com/Zaza. Did you know over 97% of women ages 19 to 50 are not getting enough vitamin D from their diet, and 95% are not getting their recommended daily intake of key omega-3s? Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and Up multivitamin was formulated by exhaustive research to help fill nutrient gaps in the diets of women 18 and over. It's formulated with nutrients to help support brain health, bone health, blood health, and provide antioxidant support. But Ritual didn't stop there. They invested in a university-led clinical trial to prove the impact of Essential for Women 18 and Up multivitamin, and the results showed an increase of vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in 12 weeks. Ritual is committed to third-party testing, traceable and vegan-friendly ingredients, and always clear communication. No shady stuff. Right now, Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/mindsetmile and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/mindsetmile. What do you have to lose? I'm guessing the answer for most of you is probably nothing. I've mentioned this before on the show, but a piece of advice I received that has always stuck with me is that successful people make up their minds quickly and change them slowly. And when we're constantly being fed information after information after inspiration, all we're doing is letting it pass by us and go through one ear and out the other. I know this might feel impossible if you're someone who has always been and thought very logically, who takes their time doing all their research and talking to everyone to hear about their experiences. I'm not talking about like life or death things here, but those things that tug at you where you're like, "Gah, I've needed to do this for a while now. Go do it." I remember about 6 months after I started getting into running, the idea of a marathon kind of creeped into my head. And even though it was never a thought that had crossed my mind before or something I ever saw myself doing, I remember feeling like it was something I just had to do. I couldn't unthink the curiosity about what it would be like to actually do what I thought at the time was such a wild feat. And I didn't think about it for very long. It wasn't like I sat on the idea for months. I was like, okay, I think I need to do this before I talk myself out of it. So I hopped online and I looked for races that were about 12 to 16 weeks out from that exact date. And I saw that the LA Marathon was in that time frame and impulsively registered. I had butterflies. Or to be honest, I felt a little bit sick to my stomach right after because I was like, Great, now I actually have to do it. But looking back, it felt so good to pull the trigger on something that felt so huge and then figure out how the heck I was going to do it. Because if I waited too long, I was going to talk myself out of it and I could have kept pondering, should I, shouldn't I? And it just would have been this lingering thing that I just never did. So I want to encourage you to stop overthinking. Easier said than done, I know. But what if it's easier than how we make it feel sometimes? Right? Like, I'm sure you can reference a time where you've thought, oh, that wasn't so bad. I wish I would have just done it sooner. Two great ways to do this are by doing a big brain dump and writing down everything that's going on in your head. Write down whatever you think about, whether that's things you need to do, fears you have, positive thoughts, things you're grateful for. It can be really mind clearing to just get what you have in your head out on paper. That way you can start to take notice of the things that are a repeating theme for you and use that as a guide for where you need to start taking action. The second is by getting outside and moving. When you're moving, your body is generating positive energy that'll get you thinking clearer, and you're also so much more motivated to do things when you're moving as opposed to sitting still. I know taking action can feel like moving a 100-ton brick, but 20 minutes of action is worth so much more than 20 hours of thinking about it. So here's your reminder. Stop thinking, start doing. I hope this episode gets you moving on something you've been sleeping on. Share it with a friend, share it on social media, and tag me at Aisha so I can give you a fist bump. I will see you next week, and until then, make it a great day.